Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalatu wassalamu ala Muhammadin wa alihi tayyibin tahirin. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi zidni ilman. So, assalamu alaikum everyone. Yesterday we started discussing the qualities of the Ibad Rahman, or the servants of the Most Compassionate, from chapter 25, Sura Furqan. We said that we need to reflect on the quality of compassion within ourselves, and then we discussed the first quality from verse 63, which was the quality of humility. So today let's look at verse 63 again and explore the second quality of the Ibadur Rahman that Allah talks about. And so this verse says, and the servants of the beneficent God, the Rahman, are those who walk on the earth in humility. And the second quality is that وَإِذَا خَاطَبَهُمُ الْجَاهِلُونَ, when the ignorant people address them, what do? قَالُوا سَلَامًا. They say peace. So let's see what this means. The second characteristics of these special servants of the Most Merciful is that when they're confronted with prideful ignorance, foolishness, aggression, pointless arguments or badgering, they do not engage with such behavior, and they simply say peace. When people are addressing them with the aim to ridicule them or bait them into arguing, they maintain their emotional balance and they do not accept the bait. Now we recognize the word salam, right, as the Muslim greeting of may peace be upon you. And we say this all the time to people as a matter of greeting. We've actually spoken about this, how to offer a sincere greeting in past episodes. Here in this verse, the use of the word salam is a little bit different. Scholars explain that the word salam here is to command one to have an attitude of restraint and forbearance, and to use it as a signal to refuse to engage. It is, in a sense, to say farewell to their senseless words. This peace is not a greeting, which is a sign of kindness and friendship. It is the peace that is the sign of patience and the outcome of humility. It is important to point out that the use of the word peace is not suitable in all interchanges where there is a difference of opinion or debate. As we've been discussing earlier this month, for example, we have guidance on how to discuss and debate with people when there is a difference of opinion or belief. In order to fulfill the aims of dialogue and communication, we need to discern between constructive dialogue and futile conflict. While the servants of the compassionate are enjoined to share knowledge with sincerity and humility, they're also advised to exercise discretion in their interactions. This discretion entails recognizing when engagement serves a meaningful purpose and when it simply perpetuates discord. So in situations where dialogue devolves into argumentation for the sake of argumentation, some of us may have been there, devoid of genuine inquiry or mutual understanding, the refusal to engage becomes an act of self-preservation and boundary setting. By declining to participate in fruitless debates, individuals exemplify humility by prioritizing inner peace over the ego-driven but short-lived gratification of proving oneself right. Of course, recognizing when a discussion is about to devolve thus requires us to be grounded in introspection, restraint, and wisdom. We need to recognize our own triggers, those internal mechanisms that predispose us towards reactive behavior. By consciously acknowledging these triggers and being aware of them, we can preemptively pause, remind ourselves that we can take a moment or more to regain emotional equilibrium before responding. It's just never a good idea if we are in that situation to respond the moment somebody is engaging with us. It will never harm us and most likely benefit us in most cases if we take a moment to pause, remind ourselves what our values are, remind ourselves what the intention in this conversation is, and what is happening before we formulate a response. And of course, a beautiful example of such a situation is found in the conduct of Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam, who, when subjected to such unwarranted abuses and insults, responded with, so there came a person and he just started accusing, insulting the Imam. And so the Imam responded, if what you say is true, may Allah forgive me. And if you are lying, then may Allah forgive you. And that was the end of it. This short exchange teaches us that stopping an argument with salam, peace, can take a sentence or two. The intention of this entire sentence is exactly the same thing. Let's not engage. I'm not going to demean myself by going where you are, because clearly, the other person is not out to do anything except to insult, to prove themselves right. And it just doesn't benefit us in any way to continue such conversations. Reminding ourselves of and acting on this verse is so vital in today's divisive climate. Social media platforms serve as battlegrounds for ideological clashes, particularly in the realm of politics. And we often find ourselves embroiled in heated debates where differing opinions give rise to animosity and division. And amidst this loud noises, clamoring for validation and supremacy, responding with peace actually becomes a radical act of humility and even of resistance. When we are not engaging, it is not as if we are agreeing with this person. We are simply giving a very clear message that we will not stoop down to their level. And so saying salam in a situation like this is not giving in or acceptance. It's a signal that one is refusing to respond in this way. It is a sign that we are open to discussions based on fact and reason, but we will not compromise our dignity by engaging in exchanges which are geared towards mockery, insults, and abuses rather than understanding. And we see this sadly, when people are protesting. We have seen so many videos of people coming up to them, insulting and abusing them. And it literally takes every ounce of restraint that not to engage back and to simply ground yourself in your own values and not to respond tit for tat, right? It also has, of course, a very, sobering another impact, which is that, when we don't do this, when we respond with like for like, we are likely to get into trouble as well. And we see this happen all the time. So to summarize, every conflict that is unproductive or turns ugly presents us with a choice. We can either protect our dignity, our relationships, and our energy by refusing to engage, by simply saying salam, signaling the end of our involvement. Or we can continue to engage in unproductive discourse driven by our need to be right. So the question that we need to end with is, which one will we choose the next time we find ourselves in such a situation? It could be a personal situation at home. Sometimes, we see examples of people who cannot help but argue, who have to be contrary to everything. And, it takes a lot of wisdom and discernment to recognize when people are challenging us because they want to learn more, they want to grow, or they're simply challenging us. And no matter what we say, there's always going to be another argument. So in situations like this, it is really a good practice to just say salam and not to engage. So with that, inshallah, we will see you tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And in this, I mean the real salam. May peace and blessings of God be upon you.